Who we become doesn't always flow from who we once were. Who we become can be determined by who we one day wish to be, how we think, what we dream. Who we become almost always depends on an empathy from others, the people around us and our mentors, those who inspire us to strive for excellence. And when we doubt, are there to support us. Because in the end, who we become is merely the sum of the chances that we take, in the hope that we will be stronger than we think we are, so that we can make a difference. Discover a place where who you become transcends even your own expectations, where we stand together and move forward together.
Ukuba singobani ngoku akuyijiki into besikade siyiyo ngaphambili. Ukuba singobani ngoku kubunjwa yinto esinqwenela ukuba yiyo ngenye imini, indlela esicinga ngayo nesiphupha ngayo. Into esiyiyo ngoku isoloko inentliziyo yovelwano ngabanye abantu, abantu abasingqongileyo kunye nabacebisi bethu, abo basikhuthazayo ukuba sifikelele ezinkwenkwezini, abathi xa siziva sinamathandabuzo basixhase. Kuba ekugqibeleni into esiyiyo ngoku yingqokelela yamathuba esiwathathayo ngethemba lokuba sokomelela ngakumbi kunokuba sicinga. Ukuze senze umahluko, fumana indawo apho unokuzibona ugqwese ngaphezu kokulindelekileyo. Le yindawo apho sime siyimbumba, sisiya phambili sisonke.
Wie ons word, vloei nie altyd uit wie ons was nie. Wie ons word, kan ook bepaal word deur wie ons eendag wil wees, hoe ons dink, wat ons droom. Wie ons word, maak ook byna altyd staat op die empatie van ander, die mense om ons en mentors, hulle wat ons inspireer om na uitnemendheid te streef. En wat, wanneer ons dalk twyfel, daar is om te ondersteun. Want uiteindelik is wie ons word die som totaal van die kanse wat ons waag. Met die hoop dat ons sterker sal wees as wat ons dink, sodat ons 'n verskil kan maak. Ontdek 'n plek waar wie jy word selfs jou verwagtinge oortref. Ons staan saam. Ons beweeg saam vorentoe.
Who we become doesn't always flow from who we once were. Who we become can be determined by who we one day wish to be, how we think, what we dream. Who we become almost always depends on an empathy from others, the people around us and our mentors, those who inspire us to strive for excellence. And when we doubt, are there to support us. Because in the end, who we become is merely the sum of the chances that we take, in the hope that we will be stronger than we think we are, so that we can make a difference. Discover a place where who you become transcends even your own expectations, where we stand together and move forward together.
Ukuba singobani ngoku, akuyijiki into besikade siyiyo ngaphambili. Ukuba singobani ngoku, kubunjwa yinto esinqwenela ukuba yiyo ngenye imini. Indlela esicinga ngayo, nesiphupha ngayo. Into esiyiyo ngoku, isoloko inentliziyo yovelwano ngabanye abantu. Abantu abasingqongileyo kunye nabacebisi bethu, abo basikhuthazayo ukuba sifikelele ezinkwenkwezini. Abathi xa siziva sinamathandabuzo basixhase, kuba ekugqibeleni into esiyiyo ngoku yingqokelela yamathuba esiwathathayo ngethemba lokuba sokomelela ngakumbi kunokuba sicinga. Ukuze senze umahluko, fumana indawo apho unokuzibona ugqwese ngaphezu kokulindelekileyo. Le yindawo apho sime siyimbumba, sisiya phambili sisonke.
Wie ons word, vloei nie altyd uit wie ons was nie. Wie ons word, kan ook bepaal word deur wie ons eendag wil wees, hoe ons dink, wat ons droom. Wie ons word, maak ook byna altyd staat op die empatie van ander, die mense om ons en mentors, hulle wat ons inspireer om na uitnemendheid te streef. En wat, wanneer ons dalk twyfel, daar is om te ondersteun. Want uiteindelik is wie ons word die som totaal van die kanse wat ons waag. Met die hoop dat ons sterker sal wees as wat ons dink, sodat ons 'n verskil kan maak. Ontdek 'n plek waar wie jy word selfs jou verwagtinge oortref. Ons staan saam. Ons beweeg saam vorentoe.
Who we become doesn't always flow from who we once were. Who we become can be determined by who we one day wish to be, how we think, what we dream. Who we become almost always depends on an empathy from others, the people around us and our mentors, those who inspire us to strive for excellence. And when we doubt, are there to support us. Because in the end, who we become is merely the sum of the chances that we take, in the hope that we will be stronger than we think we are, so that we can make a difference. Discover a place where who you become transcends even your own expectations, where we stand together and move forward together.
Ukuba singobani ngoku, akuyijiki into besikade siyiyo ngaphambili. Ukuba singobani ngoku, kubunjwa yinto esinqwenela ukuba yiyo ngenye imini. Indlela esicinga ngayo, nesiphupha ngayo. Into esiyiyo ngoku, isoloko inentliziyo yovelwano ngabanye abantu. Abantu abasingqongileyo kunye nabacebisi bethu, abo basikhuthazayo ukuba sifikelele ezinkwenkwezini. Abathi xa siziva sinamathandabuzo basixhase, kuba ekugqibeleni into esiyiyo ngoku yingqokelela yamathuba esiwathathayo ngethemba lokuba sokomelela ngakumbi kunokuba sicinga. Ukuze senze umahluko, fumana indawo apho unokuzibona ugqwese ngaphezu kokulindelekileyo. Le yindawo apho sime siyimbumba, sisiya phambili sisonke.
Who we become doesn't always flow from who we once were. Who we become can be determined by who we one day wish to be, how we think, what we dream. Who we become almost always depends on an empathy from others, the people around us and our mentors, those who inspire us to strive for excellence. And when we doubt, are there to support us. Because in the end, who we become is merely the sum of the chances that we take, in the hope that we will be stronger than we think we are, so that we can make a difference. Discover a place where who you become transcends even your own expectations, where we stand together and move forward together.
Ukuba singobani ngoku akuyijiki into besikade siyiyo ngaphambili. Ukuba singobani ngoku kubunjwa yinto esinqwenela ukuba yiyo ngenye imini. Indlela esicinga ngayo nesiphupha ngayo. Into esiyiyo ngoku isoloko inenhliziyo yovelwano ngabanye abantu. Abantu abasingqongileyo kunye nabacebisi bethu, abo basikhuthazayo ukuba sifikelele ezinkwenkwezini, abathi xa siziva sinamathandabuzo basixhase, kuba ekugqibeleni into esiyiyo ngoku yingqokelela yamathuba esiwathathayo ngethemba lokuba sokomelela ngakumbi kunokuba sicinga. Ukuze senze umahluko, fumana indawo apho unokuzibona ugqwese ngaphezu kokulindelekileyo. Le yindawo apho sime siyimbumba, sisiya phambili sisonke.
Wie ons word, vloei nie altyd uit wie ons was nie. Wie ons word, kan ook bepaal word deur wie ons eendag wil wees, hoe ons dink, wat ons droom. Wie ons word, maak ook byna altyd staat op die empatie van ander, die mense om ons en mentors, hulle wat ons inspireer om na uitnemendheid te streef. En wat, wanneer ons dalk twyfel, daar is om te ondersteun. Want uiteindelik is wie ons word die som totaal van die kanse wat ons waag. Met die hoop dat ons sterker sal wees as wat ons dink, sodat ons 'n verskil kan maak. Ontdek 'n plek waar wie jy word selfs jou verwagtinge oortref. Ons staan saam. Ons beweeg saam vorentoe.
Who we become doesn't always flow from who we once were. Who we become can be determined by who we one day wish to be, how we think, what we dream. Who we become almost always depends on an empathy from others, the people around us and our mentors, those who inspire us to strive for excellence. And when we doubt, are there to support us. Because in the end, who we become is merely the sum of the chances that we take, in the hope that we will be stronger than we think we are, so that we can make a difference. Discover a place where who you become transcends even your own expectations, where we stand together and move forward together.
Ukuba singobani ngoku akuyijiki into besikade siyiyo ngaphambili. Ukuba singobani ngoku kubunjwa yinto esinqwenela ukuba yiyo ngenye imini. Indlela esicinga ngayo nesiphupha ngayo. Into esiyiyo ngoku isoloko inentliziyo yovelwano ngabanye abantu. Abantu abasingqongileyo kunye nabacebisi bethu. Abo basikhuthazayo ukuba sifikelele ezinkwenkwezini. Abathi xa siziva sinamathandabuzo basixhase. Kuba ekugqibeleni into esiyiyo ngoku yingqokelela yamathuba esiwathathayo ngethemba lokuba sokomelela ngakumbi kunokuba sicinga. Ukuze senze umahluko, fumana indawo apho unokuzibona ugqwese ngaphezu kokulindelekileyo. Le yindawo apho sime siyimbumba, sisiya phambili sisonke.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this autumn graduation ceremony of Stellenbosch University. My name is Bantu, and I will be handling the announcements before we start with the ceremony. So thank you for your attention. Molweni emva kwemini nje namkelekile nonke kulo msitho wothwaliso zidanga lwale University yase Stellenbosch. Igama lam ndinguBantu. Ayikokuqala kumsitho oku ndima nje kukwenza izaziso ezimbalwa phambi kokuba kuqalwe ngokusemthethweni. Enkosi ngokuniboleka indlebe zenu. Goeiemiddag almal en hartlik welkom aan elkeen van u by hierdie herfstgrade plegtigheid van die Universiteit Stellenbosch. My naam is Bantu en ek doen die aankondigings voor ons amptelik begin met die seremonie. Dankie vir die aandag. Dit is fantasties om almal hier te sien in lewende lywe. Dit is actually die eerste keer sedert die begin van die coronavirus pandemie dat ons in staat is om weer volledige grade plegtighede te hou waaroor ons baie bly is. And I must say, you look absolutely beautiful. What a sight. Give yourselves a round of applause. And if that's not all, if you look around you, our hall actually is nicely draped with the new branding of the university. So you can see all over the venue our new logo with the university's makeover, and you are actually getting the real full treatment, so please enjoy. Interpreting services are available from Afrikaans to English. If you want to make use of this and you have not already received a set of headphones and a receiver, please raise your hands now. Just gives the ushers some time to get to you, please. At the end of the ceremony, also please make sure that you leave the equipment on your chair. 'n Tolkdiens is beskikbaar van Engels na Afrikaans. As jy na die verrigting in Afrikaans wil luister en jy het nog nie 'n stel oorfone en 'n ontvanger gekry nie, steek asseblief nou u hand op. Gee ons net 'n oomblik om by u uit te kom. Laat ook asseblief die toerusting agter op die stoel aan die einde van die plegtigheid. Vanweer die nasionale COVID-19 regulasies en die universiteit se gesondheids- en veiligheidsprotokolle sal hierdie geleentheid bietjie anders daar uitsien as hoe dit voor die pandemie was. Neem dus asseblief kennis van die volgende. Ngenxa yemiqathango yentsholongwana i-COVID-19, lo mcimbi sinawo namhlanje uzoba namahluko kwimisitho ebesibanayo ngaphambili. Ngoko ke qaphelani oku kulandelayo. All graduates have been assigned unique seat numbers. Please do not change seats. Graduates, please hang on to the name card on your seat. You need to bring it with you to the stage when it's your turn to graduate, and you need it to get your certificate afterwards. To all the guests in the hall, the arena seating on the side and at the back have stickers on to indicate where you may sit. Please leave every second seat vacant. Only the essential staff members required to constitute this ceremony will be present at this event. Thank you for your understanding that we had to limit the number of guests you could invite. Rest assured that this hall is thoroughly cleaned before and after each ceremony. The wearing of a mask is mandatory for both graduates and guests for the full duration of the ceremony, including when graduates cross the stage. And please always maintain a safe distance of at least 1 meter from others. The toilet facilities are behind us, and you can get there by first exiting the hall and then entering from the side. The toilet entrances are clearly marked. Indawo yangasese isemva kwethu. Ukufika apho kufuneka uphume eholweni uze ungene ecaleni. Iminyango yezindlu zangasese iphawulwe ngokucacileyo. We also have medical assistance available, also here right behind the stage. If you need help, please don't hesitate to approach any of the ushers. Daar is ook mediese bystand beskikbaar aan die agterkant van die verhoog. Indien jy hulp benodig, moet asseblief nie huiwer om enige van ons rigtingaanwysers te nader nie. Any lost and found items can be handed in at the information kiosk in the front of the venue. If you have lost something, you are welcome to inquire there. In the event of an emergency evacuation of this venue, please proceed calmly to the exit closest to you and congregate on the rugby fields between the Dani Craven Stadium and this hall. Please follow the instruction of the safety officer and campus security. In die geval van 'n noodonruiming van hierdie lokaal, gaan asseblief rustig voort na die uitgang naaste aan u en kom saam op die rugbyvelde tussen die Dani Craven Stadion en hierdie saal. Volg asseblief die instruksies van die veiligheidsbeampte en campusveiligheidspersoneel. Now to the graduation itself. We will not be singing the national anthem as is our custom, but instead listen to a beautiful rendition of it by the band and the vocalist directly after the procession has entered the hall. Please allow me to introduce our musicians. The Stellenbosch University Jazz Quintet, under the direction of Mark Lynch, have provided the beautiful entertainment before the ceremony has begun. The Stellenbosch University Brass Ensemble will play the academic procession, and they will be conducted by Pamela Kierman. The vocalist who will be singing the national anthem is Blaine Josephs. Please help me in giving them a round of applause. Thank you very much. The presiding officer at this ceremony is the Chancellor, Justice Edwin Cameron. When we get to the awarding of degrees, graduates will be called up to cross the stage, but in order to comply with COVID-19 regulations, there will be no handshaking by the presiding officer. Instead, please walk up to the presiding officer and nod. You will then be kept, and you can proceed to the designated spot for acknowledgement by the audience. When you walk up the stage, graduates, you will see X mark the spot in 2 spots, one where you nod for you to be kept by the presiding officer, and then you proceed on to the acknowledgement spot where you turn to the audience for a moment of congratulations, and then you proceed down the stairs. Members of the audience are welcome to take photographs, but please switch off your sound and flash first. Please also keep your cell phones on silent for the duration of the ceremony. Each and every graduate deserves their big moment. Therefore, we request that you do not leave the hall before the whole ceremony has been concluded. Once the academic procession has left, We respectfully request that you exit the hall swiftly so that cleaning and preparation for the next ceremony may commence as soon as possible. Please take along any waste items such as water bottles, tissues, etc., and dispose of these safely in the bins outside. The official photographers have set up a studio in the sports science building behind this hall. Graduates and their family and friends are welcome to make use of this service. Also look out for the Marty Shop mobile unit for purchasing Stellenbosch University branded items to remind you of the successful academic journey that we are celebrating here today. And afterwards, we invite you to our brand new alumni clubhouse at the Stal at the end of the ceremony to celebrate your achievements with a glass of bubbly. The alumni clubhouse is next to the Dani Craven Stadium on my left. Baie dankie vir u geduld met die tale aanwysings. Dit is egter in ons almal se belang. Enkosi nonke ngomonde wenu ngayo yonke imiyalelo. Senza oku ukugcina wonke umuntu ekhuselekile. Now, for a piece of good news, the graduation ceremony can be followed via live streaming from anywhere in the world. In case you were not aware of this, you are welcome to share the following web address with your family and friends: www.sun.ac.za/live streaming. And we are live as we speak. Let asseblief daarop dat beerdkrag internetverbinding en dus ook die regstreekse uitsaai van die verrigtinge kan onderbreek. U sal wel steeds toegang tot die opname van die geleentheid op YouTube hê via ons stroombladsy. Load shedding will, however, not end the ceremony itself. We have a generator on standby. If a power outage should occur, please remain seated while we switch over to emergency power. You are welcome and invited to share your graduation experiences on social media and use the hashtag #SUGrad. Just remember to please keep your phones on silent for the duration of the ceremony. Ons is bykans gereed om met die plegtigheid te begin. Ons vra dat u sal opstaan vir die akademiese prosessie en sal bly staan tot nadat ons na die nasionale lied geluister het. Lixesha lokuba kuqalwe ngomsitho. Sicela wonke umuntu aphakame ngexesha kungena izithwalandwe eholweni. Sime njalo ukuze kuculwe umhobe wesizwe. Everyone, may we please rise for the academic procession and remain standing until after we've listened to the national anthem. Enkosi kakhulu, baie dankie. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Goeiemiddag, dames en here. Morweni. Ons begin die verrigtinge vanmiddag met die sang van ons nasionale lied. Ons gaan nie self sing nie vanweë COVID protokolle. We're going to start our proceedings this afternoon with a rendition of our national anthem, which we won't be singing to because of COVID.
Così si che l'eli Africa, malupakani su pondolwayo, I suoi mitanda zoietu, così si che l'ela tina lusa polwayo, Murena buluka si chabasa Jesu, offendise din toile matwenye, o si buluke, si chabasa Jesu, si chabasa South Africa, South Africa. Die blauw van onze hemel, uit die diepte van ons Heer. Oor ons ewige gebergtes, waar die kranse antwoord gee. Sounds the call to come together, and united we shall stand. Let us live and strive for freedom in South Africa, our land.
Sal jy asseblief hier sitplekke inneem? Please be seated. My first happy duty this afternoon, my eerste verpligting vanmiddag, is om vir die orkes te bedank en vir hulle te sê dat hulle vry staan om ons te verlaat. My first duty is to thank the band and our wonderful singer. Please let's give them a warm round of applause as they leave. The vocalist was Blaine Josephs, and it's the Stellenbosch University Brass Ensemble, conducted by Pamela. Pamela, before you go, give a wave so that we can clap for you again. And the jazz quartet, led by Mark Lynch. Mark, have you left already? He has left. We'll get him next time. Baie dankie aan die orkes. Dit is nou my formele plig kragtens die statuut en in gevolge die magte aan my toeverleen deur die statuut om te verklaar dat hierdie konvokasie van die Universiteit Stellenbosch amptelik gekonstitueer is. It is my duty and pleasure to declare in terms of the statute of the university that this congregation of the university has been duly constituted. Voordat ons met die verrigtinge voortgaan, wil ek net vra dat ons vir 'n oomblik elk, net waar ons sit, 'n gewyde oomblik deurbring met ons eie gedagtes, op watter godsdienstige of ander grond, just a moment before we proceed with this wonderful ceremony this morning, with all our budding graduates about to crown their success. Let us think of the hardships of the last 2 years. We will celebrate in a moment the fact that we are able to gather here at all, today being the first time that we are having fuller graduation ceremonies. Let us just take a few moments to reflect where we are seated, each in our own way, whether within a religious framework or a different framework, each in our own way, both of reflection of the losses that we have suffered due to COVID and the griefs and the anguishes that many people have experienced, but also a moment of gratitude and affirmation and joy that we are here at all. Thank you. Enkosi. Baie dankie dames en here. Dankie. En nou wens ek vir u weer eens goeiemôre en u is baie welkom by die tweede van 11 grade plegtighede wat ons hierdie week hou. I'm very pleased to welcome you to the second of 11 graduations that are being held this week. My name is Edwin Cameron. My naam is Edwin Cameron. Ek is die kanselier. Dit is my derde jaar as kanselier. Ek is in Oktober 2019 verkies. Dit is 'n wonderlike amp om te bekleed. Dit is suiwer seremonieel. The Chancellor has no official powers or duties except the one that I performed with such legal relish a moment ago in constituting this gathering. On my left is Professor Wim de Villiers, the formidable rector and vice-chancellor of this university. On my right is Deputy Vice-Chancellor Deresh Ram Jagannath, and on his right is our equally proficient and capable registrar, ons registrateur, Dr. Renel Retief. En dit gee vir my geweldige blydskap om al die akademici ook hier te sien. Die gradeplegtigheid is 'n vertoning van universiteit se intellektuele krag. The intellectual prowess of a university and its output is represented partly by what's on the stage and partly by what's going to come across the stage. So let's give our academics a round of applause, please. I'm delighted to say that today we are celebrating not just all the degrees. We bring to a close the 2021 academic year, and I have before me the figures which are impressive. Indrukwekkende syfers oor hoeveel mense ten spyte van die smart en die inperking van grendeltyd en van COVID en die risiko van besmetting en siekte en selfs dood. We awarded 5,636 qualifications, and that was at the end of last year, and this week a further 3,132, bringing the total for last year to 8,768, which is truly a remarkable figure. And for this year, we are particularly delighted to be conferring the highest numbers of postgraduate qualifications ever in the Faculty of Agrisciences. Look at all the red gowns in front of you. Give them a special round of applause. All the hard work that our wonderful academic staff have done in order to pave the way for each of you today to graduate does not go unrecognized. Ons bring eer en eerbied aan die harde werk wat ons akademiese personeel gedoen het en ook wat u gedoen het, elkeen van u. Agriculture plays such an important role in the economy of our country. Without mining resources and agriculture, our agricultural output, we would have been in a very, very parlous state economically. And so this faculty is doing extremely well. Under its dean, Professor Dani Brink. Where is Dani? Uitstekend, reg agter my. And we are very proud of the contribution. And now, more than ever, we enthusiastically embrace the chance to produce graduates of your caliber and for you to contribute. Ek sal nou aan die kandidate wat aan my voorgestel word, die onderskeie grade, diplomas en sertifikate verleen. I will now confer on the candidates who are presented to me the respective degrees, diplomas and certificates.
Mr. Chancellor, I request you to confer the following degrees in the Faculty of Agrisciences. Brent Abrams, with a dissertation for the PhD degree, a mixed method approach towards the evaluation and assessment of integrative research program outputs. The case of the invasive alien plant management program, Working for Water, under supervision provided by Professor Karen Esler, the degree PhD in Conservation Ecology. Simon Alexander Ackerman, with a dissertation Industrial Forestry Compartment Characteristics, the Effort on End of Rotation Processes and the Forestry Supply Chain. Supervision provided by Professor Bruce Talbot for the PhD degree in Forestry. Anel Blankenberg, with dissertation Quality and Quantity Losses of Crimson Seedless Grapes and Peckham Triumph Pear along the supply chain and associated impacts. Supervision provided by Professor Linus Upara for the PhD Agric in Horticultural Science. Johanna Cecilia Klute, with a dissertation Investigation, Farm Level Exit Decisions and Exit Rates in Commercial Agriculture in South Africa, an agent-based approach. Supervision provided by Dr. Willem Hofman for the PhD Agric in Agriculture Economics. Terren de Beer, with dissertation Alternative Post-Harvest Technologies for the Maintenance of Parthenon broccoli quality during export and domestic marketing. Supervision provided by Dr. Elke Crouch for the PhD in Horticultural Science. Michelle Eckert, with a dissertation Conservation of Soil Biodiversity in South African Timber Production Landscapes. The supervision provided by Dr. Renee Geiger for the PhD in Conservation Ecology. Johan de Vlaming Kotze, with dissertation Development of a National Level Invasive Alien Plant Monitoring System for South Africa. Supervision provided by Professor Thomas Seifert for the PhD in Forestry. Guguletu Joy Makatini with the dissertation Characterization and Management of Seed-borne Diphorthe and Fusarium species associated with soya bean in South Africa. Supervision provided by Dr. Spies for the PhD Agric in Plant Pathology. Obvious Mapie with a dissertation, the development of a livestock management database system towards sustainable smallholder farming systems in South Africa. Supervision provided by Dr. Anneline Molotsi for the PhD in Agrisciences. Jacqueline Kina Marima with a dissertation, The Application of Genomics and Transcriptomics for the Characterization of Genetic Diversity of Tick Resistance in Angus, Brahman, Nguni and Santa Gertrudis cattle artificially infested with R. microplus and R. decoloractus ticks under the supervision of Professor Kennedy Zama for the P.Agric in Animal Science. Stenford Ngorinitsa Matsikitse with the dissertation Plant Water Stress Determination using proximal thermal infrared and multispectral reflectance remote sensing techniques, supervised by Professor Malani Vivier for the PhD in Wine Biotechnology. Lehliwe Lynette Mubanya with the dissertation investigating the lipid requirements of wine-related non-Saccharomyces yeasts, supervised by Professor Benoit Duval for a PhD in Wine Biotechnology. Andre Craig Munyan with a dissertation, The Identification of Biomarkers in Growth Prediction of West Coast Rock Lobster Yassus lalandai under supervision of Professor Auerswald for the PhD in Animal Science. Fonzu Tony Muvali with a dissertation, The Refinement of an Artificial Insemination Protocol in Ostriches, under the supervision provided by Dr. Bunatu for the PhD Agric in Animal Science. Cornelius Loftus Nell with dissertation Studies on Genetic Response and Genomic Characterization in South African and Australian sheep. Supervision provided by Professor Skalk Klute for the PhD Agric in Animal Science. Nombuso Portia Ngubane with the dissertation fungal endophyte assemblances associated with twigs of olives in Core Cape sub-region, South Africa. Supervision provided by Professor Francois Roots for the PhD Agric in Conservation Ecology. Estienne Retief with dissertation Particulum wilt of tomatoes in South Africa, the biology, quantification and management, with supervision provided by Professor Adele McLeod for the PhD in plant pathology. Alta Saunders with the dissertation investigating the phytosynthetic and hydraulic trade-off during drought recovery in eucalyptus, supervised by Professor David Drew for a PhD in forestry. Ricardo Virgil Smart with the dissertation Vineyard Cover Crop Application, the influence on the soil, leaf and wine fermentation microbiome, supervised by Professor Evodia Setati for a PhD in wine biotechnology. Kasselman Yuri Tron with the dissertation Biodiversity Assessments using Remote Sensing and Integrative Modeling for Improved Conservation Management, supervised by Professor James Pryke for the PhD in Conservation Ecology. Simone Nora Teron with the dissertation Improving Resilience in Rain-Fed and Irrigated Agriculture under Future Climate in the Winter Rainfall Region of the Western Cape. Lessons from the 2015-2018 drought, supervised by Professor Archer for a PhD in Agrisciences. Flaxen Chuma with a dissertation, Tillage Effects on Soil Quality and Plant Productivity in the Swartland region of South Africa. Supervision provided by Professor Pieter Swanepoel for a PhD in Agronomy. Rolien van Skalkwyk with the dissertation Evaluation of Soil Covers to Improve and Predict Their Performance for the Rehabilitation of Coal Mines on the Highveld of Mpumalanga in South Africa, with supervision provided by Professor Hofman for a PhD in Soil Science. Nadia Wessels with the dissertation Assessing Natural Open Spaces in Ecosystem Service Provision for Enhanced Urban Planning in the Global South, under supervision of Professor Karen Essler for a PhD in Conservation Ecology. die graad Magister in Natuurwetenskappe, the degree Masters of Science. Lesiba Tarin Kueni, Nadia Degenaar met die graad cum laude. Elsie Martina Dippenaar. Vernon Guy Jacobs met MSc cum laude. Sinabuyu Makwebu. Sarah Catherine McMurphy, MSc cum laude. Irmela Pech. Santhuri Pillai, die MSc cum laude. Stephen Alexander Sutton. Die graad Magister in die Natuurwetenskappe in Landbou, the degree Master of Science in Agriculture. Simone Beeks. Cornel Broeksma. Jani Burger. Dion Craven. Bianca Creevy. Muriel Mignon de Jager. Brannigan Jovan de Pree. Nina de Toy. Jandrey Elers. Heinrich Geldenhuis. Emma Claire Hannel. Magdalene Hatting, cum laude. Renoir Hindley. Isaac Nicole Malan. Bill Matitsa. Fulufelu Mudau. Abraham Stefanus Oberholzer. Tabu Johannes Pasuona. Leratu Patricia Ramafoko. Tapelu Senyolo. Craig Allen Shepston. Catherine Ann Spencer. Vian Stapelberg. Marley Stofberg. Pieter Hendrik Skalk-Uys. Andrew Frank William van Lingen. Die graad Magister in Natuurwetenskappe. Die graad Magister in Natuurwetenskappe in Bosbou en Houtwetenskappe. The degree Masters of Science in Forestry and Wood Sciences. Tadenda Sylvester Chatukuta. Lishan Mahadeo. Joan Sebastian Nito Lawrence, cum laude. Die graad Magister in die Natuurwetenskappe in Bewaringsekologie. The degree Master of Science in Conservation Ecology. Steven William Key Lehman, cum laude. Alison Ann Miller. Leo Stevens. Is goed? Lyle Stevens, cum laude. Heno Daniel van Deventer. Nicola Vermonti. Die graad Magister in die Natuurwetenskappe in Voedsel en Voedselsekerheid. The degree Master of Science in Food and Nutrition Security. Clinton Bakassa. Beverly Virginia Handukeme. Ilse Petersen. Kyle Veronica Pillay. Matlau Bartina Setati. Eunice Elsie Smit. Die graad magister in die natuurwetenskappe en voedselwetenskap, the degree Master of Science in Food Science. Carla Dippenaar, cum laude. Helene van Schoor. Die nagraadse diploma in agronomie, postgraduate diploma in agronomy. Christian Anthony Oliver. Die graad baccalaureus in die natuurwetenskappe in landbou, the degree Bachelor of Science in Agriculture. Karim Shoki Abdul Fattah. Luwanye Arends. Monica Badenhorst. Johannes Petrus Botha. Jan Sebastian Kloete. Daniel Galvin Conradi. Nicolaas Christoffel Davel. Hendrik Cornelius de Beer. Jana Salome de Kok. Asemale Diosi. Shannon Michelle Little. Mosima Letitia Mabelebele. Jason Okhuis. Casper Johannes Rousseau. Sabrina Scheslinger. Zandeli Trollip. Die graad baccalaureus in die natuurwetenskappe in bosbou en bosbouhoutwetenskappe. The degree Bachelor of Science in Forestry and Wood Science. Michelle Jordan. Sebo Sihle Kuzwayo. Karel Kutzer. Jean Reino Miller. Keenan Colin Neft. Tamarin Sampson. Mikael Teron. Chandray Ethan van Wyk. Die graad baccalaureus in die natuurwetenskappe en voedselwetenskap, the degree Bachelor of Science in Food Science. Nametsang Butlawane. Francine Oliver. Die graad baccalaureus in landbou, the degree Bachelor of Agriculture. Van Eden Hanekom. Karel Petrus van Zyl. Meneer die kanselier, ek versoek u om aan die kandidate wie se name ook aan u voorgelees, maar wat nie hier teenwoordig is nie, die onderskeie grade in hul afwesigheid te verleen. Mr. Chancellor, I request you to confer the degrees on those candidates whose names have been presented to you, but who could not attend in their absence.
Hiermee verleen ek in hulle afwesigheid die grade aan die in die gradeplegtigheidsprosedure uiteengesit, wat nie teenwoordig gaan wees nie, maar wat hulle grade verwerf het. And I hereby confer in their absence the degrees on those who could not be here today. Thank you, Mr. Dean. Now a very joyful duty, and one that I know you're all going to be pleased for me to ask you to perform, 'n baie guitige verpligting. Ek gaan die studieleiers in 'n oomblik vra om te staan sodat u hulle kan bedank. Ek dink u is elkeen 'n groot deel van die graad aan hulle verskuldig. I think each of the PhD and Masters candidates particularly are greatly in debt to their supervisor. Am I right? Say it more loudly, I can't hear. Let's ask the supervisors to stand. Thank you very much, supervisors. Baie dankie, studieleiers. It's a joyful task to perform because we are here to recognize the importance of knowledge acquisition and knowledge transfer. And it's an enormously important thing. Die aanwinst van kennis en van navorsing en die oordra daarvan. We've had two great struggles in our country in the last few decades. Groot worstelinge oor kennis opdoen. Jy gaan my met help by Afrikaans af en toe, meneer die rektor. And of course, the recent debate is about vaccines and about COVID and about masks and about ivermectin. And we had scientific skepticism about that. And you represent the opposite. You represent a commitment to the scientific method, die wetenskaplike metode waar deur menslike vooruitgang verwerf word en waar sonder menslike vooruitgang nie moontlik is nie. An even bigger struggle was 2 decades ago about AIDS. And you will know that our own president, President Mbeki, embodied a terrible form of skepticism about knowledge. He rejected the science of AIDS and the science of antiretrovirals. I, incidentally, am here 25 years after being very ill with AIDS because of antiretrovirals. So I have a very profound reason for respecting why you are here today and for respecting the methods of research and the methods of finding out what works, what doesn't, what is true, what is untrue, what is the etiology of a virus, how do we deal with viruses in public health scares. So it's a particular joy for me to recognize your supervisors, to recognize what they've achieved, and more importantly, to recognize what each of you has achieved. There's a particular joy in this ceremony today, 'n besondere vreugde in die feit dat ons almal hier saam is. Vir die afgelope 2 jaar moes ons in 'n heeltemal kleiner lokaal in die konservatorium, 'n baie mooi lokaal, maar nie so ruim en nie so oop as hierdie een nie, moes ons die grade toegee. We had to meet for 2 years in the conservatory in severely restricted circumstances. And there's a joy and a relief that through the efforts of scientists and knowledge acquirers and knowledge transferers like you, we are able to be here today. En vandag sluit hy aan. Dis 'n aansienlike getal wat voor my hier in my programnotas staan. 200,000 ander Mati Gradiandi, 200,000 graduates of this university worldwide. And I urge you to join martysalumni.com. The alumnus office is open to you. The alumnus office wants you to stay in touch. Ek het baie jare terug 2 grade op Stellenbosch gekry. Hierdie perseel is toe net nuut gebou. Ek gaan nie vir u sê watter jaar dit is nie. Selfs die ouers is toe nie eers getroud gewees nie. Maar ek het my BA graad en my honeursgraad op hierdie verhoog gekry, net soos u. En dit is ook deel van 'n tradisie. Stellenbosch het ten goeie en met 'n sekere berou baie verander sedertdien en heel wat ten goeie verander. Maar the fundamentals of research, of teaching, of learning, and of academic publication have been secured at Stellenbosch. And I invite you to take knowledge of the annual homecoming, the family weekend for alumni. This year's dates, and I know you're going to grab a pen and write them down, 8th to the 10th of September. We welcome you back to Stellenbosch. And we invite you to the brand new alumni clubhouse, which is just a few meters, 50 or 100 meters from here, after the ceremony to enjoy a glass of Vonkelwyn. And that's right next to the Donnie Craven Stadium on my left. And having acknowledged the supervisors, nadat ons die studieleiers erken het, dink ek wil ons ook die gesinne en familielede en geliefdes ook bedank. I think you also want to thank all your family members, your loved ones, those who've supported you during these difficult years of COVID and the difficult years, especially the PhD students. There's no more difficult degree at a university and no more distinguished qualification than a PhD. So, kan ons nie vir die familie vra, let's ask the families also to stand up so that we can recognize and applaud you, please. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We've reached the end of this joyful affirmation of your efforts, of your achievements, and an affirmation of your future. You go into the world in order to improve it, in order to create a life for yourself and those you love and those that you want to love in your procreative activities. And Stellenbosch has enabled you to do that. So with great joy, met groot vreugde, sluit ons hierdie seremonie af. En dit is nou my plesier om weer eens die enigste magte wat aan my toeverleen is as kanselier, om te verklaar dat hierdie kongregasie van die Universiteit Stellenbosch tot 'n einde geloop het. I now exercise my second sole power in terms of the statute by declaring that this congregation is closed. And I ask you to stand and to remain standing while we leave the stage. Thank you very much.
Who we become doesn't always flow from who we once were. Who we become can be determined by who we one day wish to be, how we think, what we dream. Who we become almost always depends on an empathy from others, the people around us and our mentors, those who inspire us to strive for excellence. And when we doubt, are there to support us. Because in the end, who we become is merely the sum of the chances that we take, in the hope that we will be stronger than we think we are, so that we can make a difference. Discover a place where who you become transcends even your own expectations, where we stand together and move forward together.
Ukuba singobani ngoku akuyijiki into besikade siyiyo ngaphambili. Ukuba singobani ngoku kubunjwa yinto esinqwenela ukuba yiyo ngenye imini. Indlela esicinga ngayo nesiphupha ngayo. Into esiyiyo ngoku isoloko inentliziyo yovelwano ngabanye abantu. Abantu abasingqongileyo kunye nabacebisi bethu, abo basikhuthazayo ukuba sifikelele ezinkwenkwezini, abathi xa siziva sinamathandabuzo basixhase, kuba ekugqibeleni into esiyiyo ngoku yingqokelela yamathuba esiwathathayo ngethemba lokuba sokomelela ngakumbi kunokuba sicinga. Ukuze senze umahluko, fumana indawo apho unokuzibona ugqwese ngaphezu kokulindelekileyo. Le yindawo apho sime siyimbumba, sisiya phambili sisonke.
Wie ons word, vloei nie altyd uit wie ons was nie. Wie ons word, kan ook bepaal word deur wie ons eendag wil wees, hoe ons dink, wat ons droom. Wie ons word, maak ook byna altyd staat op die empatie van ander, die mense om ons en mentors, hulle wat ons inspireer om na uitnemendheid te streef. En wat, wanneer ons dalk twyfel, daar is om te ondersteun. Want uiteindelik is wie ons word die som totaal van die kanse wat ons waag. Met die hoop dat ons sterker sal wees as wat ons dink, sodat ons 'n verskil kan maak. Ontdek 'n plek waar wie jy word, selfs jou verwagtinge oortref. Ons staan saam. Ons beweeg saam vorentoe.
Who we become doesn't always flow from who we once were. Who we become can be determined by who we one day wish to be, how we think, what we dream. Who we become almost always depends on an empathy from others, the people around us and our mentors.